So we did this last year for the first time. Nobody got hurt, nothing blew up, so I guess we did okay. And they asked me back again. He's a city employee, so he's always going to be here. So who has fried a turkey before? Anybody? Very good. And when you did it, I mostly learned by making mistakes. Did you have any difficulties when you did it?
A lot of difficulty.
Okay. And what was your biggest difficulty that you had?
Fried it too much.
Okay, very good. So you overcooked it.
Yeah.
So before you do this at home, go on to YouTube, okay, and type in turkey frying accidents, okay? And the issue is men, okay? We don't like to read instructions, okay? We don't take direction well at times, oftentimes not well from our wives, okay? Because we're supposed to know how to do this. But frying a turkey can actually be dangerous, okay? And the danger comes in when you put too much oil in your pot and then you drop your turkey in, sometimes a frozen turkey, which would be wrong, okay? Sometimes a cold turkey out of the refrigerator, which would be wrong as well. And that oil comes up. It basically explodes. And it comes straight up at you, so it burns you really bad, okay? And the fire's going, so you could literally create a fire. So if you go online, you'll see recommendations like, do this 30 feet away from anything, okay? And that's a strong recommendation. I wouldn't do it on anything that you don't want to stain, okay? So if you've got that brand new deck that's looking really good, he is going to spill something, trust me. And I know that because I've done it, okay? We were at A&M one year for Thanksgiving at a VRBO, and it was one of the first years I'd done it. And I put down tarps. Well, the tarp had a hole in it, and the oil went through the tarp and it stained the deck, and I had to pay for it. So don't do the things wrong that I do. So we've got this in here, and we've got it filled, and we don't have it filled with enough. We got the free oil that we got from Walmart, and I like free. It saves the city money. But the good news is we don't have more than we need. So what you do to determine how much you need is you'll take a turkey and you'll drop it in an empty pot, okay? And once it's in the pot with everything that you're gonna have in the pot, and what I mean by that is the holder for it, okay? Then you'll fill it with water, okay? And you wanna fill it to 1 inch above the height of the turkey. And you wanna do it when it's on this stand, because the stand is designed to hold the turkey in a way that it cooks the best, okay? So that just goes up through the butt end of the turkey. So put it in here, fill it with water, pull the turkey out, and whatever fill line is, when you're done, is how much oil you'll put in that, okay? And that way you won't run into the risk of having too much in, and when you put the turkey in, having it come up over the top and hitting the fire down below, because that's dangerous, okay? So one of the best things that you can do is, we've pre-warned this, okay? When you first put the turkey in, the temp's gonna drop, okay? So they'll tell you to cook a turkey at 350 degrees. So the recommendation is to warm it to 375, okay? We've got a temp probe in it, okay? There's digital temp probes that you can do that you put into the thigh of the turkey and you leave it in. Or these will actually even hook on the side here. But there's a hole in the top of these so that you can put a temp probe down into it to monitor the temp. You must use a temp probe, okay? You're not gonna be successful if you don't have one. So we've got it up to 375, okay? That's where we wanna be before we put the turkey in. And then the best thing to do is to turn it off, okay? And if I turn this off, when I put my turkey in it, if for some reason I haven't measured right or something has changed and it overflows, that oil is not gonna hit a flame down below. And that's just the safest thing to do. So, and the recommendation is to slowly submerge it. So you hear that? That's just the dripping from the turkey. And you want to take your time doing this.
just kind of to piggyback on what he was saying, I think the biggest concern that one might have when doing this is they just drop it in really fast. And oftentimes you may think the turkey's thawed out, right? But in the inside, there's still some ice crystals. So any of that water inside there is what's really going to make it flare up. So you pull your turkey out of its plastic wrap package. My recommendation, if you're going to season it, brine it, whatever, make sure you kind of pat, dry some paper towels, all that water, all that moisture off of it before you go ahead and dump it.
Academy sells a set of leather gloves that'll come up to here, and I use those at home with my smoker and with my fryer. And they're $10. And if you're right here, you can see that the oil is actually coming up through the inside of the turkey. It probably wouldn't hurt to use some goggles or some sunglasses. All right. And it's back on. So the tip dropped down from 375 to about 325, and it'll come back up. So we used vegetable oil today. Some people will say peanut oil is the best to use, and the reason is it has a higher flash point. What that means is it will take a higher temp in case you get distracted from the heat, okay? So your oil won't start to burn. But of course with peanut oil, you have the concerns about peanut allergies. The nice thing is that Academy, every year, about 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, the $29.99 5-gallon barrel of peanut oil goes down to $19.99. And I like to save money. So I go pick up 1 or 2 of those and have it ready. This is vegetable oil. It was donated by Walmart, I believe, here in town. You can use vegetable oil, it's just that it burns at a lower temperature than peanut oil. You could actually use canola oil as well, which is good, but peanut oil just seems to work really well, unless you've got a concern about peanut allergies. So you're gonna cook this 3 to 4 minutes per pound, plus 5 minutes. Don't know why it's plus 5 minutes, but the goal is you're trying to get the temp up to 165 degrees in the thigh, not in the breast. The thigh is a hard place for the temp to get to. It takes longer for it to come up. So when you pull this out, unless you have a temp probe already embedded in the thigh, one of those digital that's on a wire, you're going to pull it out, put a temp probe in the thigh, and make sure it's 165 degrees. The last thing you want to do is serve undercooked fowl, so people can get sick from that. What else? Any questions? Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't. No. It's going to come out. Okay. Has anybody stuffed a turkey? Has that worked for you? I wouldn't think that would work well, but I don't know. You could be the first, but I've never done it. So cook the stuffing separately in the oven. Any other questions? All right. We're good. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, so the turkey that we're frying right now is not the turkey you guys eat because then you'd be here all day. Well, not all day, about 45 minutes. I can come back for the fry. But we do have the lunch ready for you. The turkeys are from the East. So we're going to go in our side door right here and file through, and our volunteers are in there waiting to serve us. So grab your lunch and then go back and sit down and we'll have some more. I never had a fried turkey.
They'll just cut you off.
Yes.